Hey there, do you want to become an actor? Well, you can. In this video, the first episode of Acting Out with the Wannabe Actor, I'm going to teach you how, in surprisingly simple steps. Stay tuned. Hey there, I'm Daniel Jobber Gagne, aka the Wannabe Actor, and I'm here to teach you how to become an actor today. A lot of this information actually came from a very good YouTuber that I've studied a lot, Wendy Elaine Wright, the Hollywood Talent Manager. Excellent YouTuber. I encourage you to check out her stuff. She's one of the best I've seen talking about acting. So anyways, you want to become an actor. Well, it's actually not as hard in terms of steps as you might think. First off, you got to make some money. It's a business. Any business you're going to start, you got to have some money to invest. You got to get as much as you can to get started and put into it. You can only get out of it what you're willing to put in, so make lots of money. Work hard. While you're doing that, you need to start acting. So you start off with the theater. Community theater, any kind of theater you can get into. Start putting your name out, get involved, act, perform. If you want to be an actor, you got to start acting like one. So anyways, yes, lots of theater. You're gonna spend the next couple of years of your life minimum building a resume, acting. So theater is very important to start. Do as much theater as you can. Keep track of all your theater for your resume, and you got to train. Training is another key part of any business, any career you're going to get into. You got to keep developing. You got to keep getting better. You got to train. So while you're trying to get into theater, you got to take all the acting classes you can find, all the stuff to learn about the business you can find. Get all the information you can and tools at your disposal, because you're going to need them. And keep track of all the ones that are acting for your resume again. You got to build a resume. And those two things are the first steps. So you're spending the good part of 2 years acting in the theater, taking lots of training classes, putting the money you can into that, saving as much money as you can. As you get down the road and start to, build your resume in that regard, you're going to want to reach out to the film students, the community film schools and that sort of thing in your community. You want to try to get into whatever you can. You start off whatever you can get, and you're trying to work your way up to some of those big film projects that graduate students use to finish their degrees, because some of those go on to win awards at film festivals, and that's the way you want to get your name out there. You might actually get breaks and enhance your career in ways you never even imagined if you get lucky in that regard. So yeah, you want to make sure you get in some film projects. Once again, you got to keep it on your resume. Everything's got its own section. You got to build the resume of all those things. So training, theater, films, and you build this nice, beautiful resume. Actually, while you're at that, you may want to take some classes in commercial acting, because it's a different business, or pretty much a different world, and get out there, put your name out there to try to get into, audition for commercials and stuff, and try to do some commercials in your community, because that might be an opportunity there you hadn't thought of. Once again, it's got its own section on the resume. You got to build that resume. Once you got your resume starting to build up, you're going to need some professional headshots. So you're going to need at least a couple of pretty good professional views. One maybe serious, maybe one maybe not so much. Look in your absolute best you possibly can, and get in the absolute best headshot you can without breaking the bank, because obviously that's not the last headshots you're ever going to have in life. And also, while you're doing all this theater and commercials and everything, you got to build yourself a highlight reel, and it's got to be a really short, quick to the point highlight reel. It's close to being front and center as you can, almost like this video, where they can see your face and your eyes and just see it perform. You got to build a highlight reel of, they say, 30 to 60 seconds. Nothing too long, because they won't watch for very long. You need to really captivate them in the first little bit. So building that key highlight reel is very, very important. You need all those things. You need a full resume of different types of acting, theater, maybe some commercial. definitely some films, and of course, lots of training. You have to show that you've done the training and you've done the work to become an actor, and you got to have a highlight reel, and you got to have really good headshots. Now you put all that into a beautiful resume, and you're ready to hit the ground running. Wanna be, 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 I wanna be, wanna be, wanna be, actor. Wanna be, wanna be, wanna be, wanna be, wanna be. You got to decide where you want to do it now. Do you want to stay where you are and build your career there? Do you feel the opportunity is there, or do you want to do somewhere else where we're more in the center of things, like in LA or some of the other areas where acting is, paramount? Whatever you decide to do, you got to make sure you have enough money. So whatever you've saved up, that's going to be key. If you're going to go to LA, to Wendy Elaine Wright suggests you probably $10,000 or more. I would think you probably want to have the nature of $15,000 because, you're going to have probably a job at some point, if not right away early on. You got to pay rent, you got to live. But at the same time, there's so much expenses involved. It is a business. You're not just going to go out there and catch on the first role and become famous. Very few people actually do. So you're going to have to decide where you're going to go, and you're going to want to research talent managers. You obviously have to have some representation because you're not, even though you have to be working on your own, you're still somewhat an independent contractor. You still need some help behind you as well. So you need an agent, or better yet, for most people starting out, unless you've really caught some attention and are highly touted early on, a talent manager. So you go up to a talent manager and you say, here's my resume, my highlight reel. This is what I've done. This is what I want to do. Can I join your roster? You may have to try a few of them. You may have to find one that says, you know what, I like what you do. I'll take you on to my roster. So you got to get on some roster for talent managers. They'll help you maybe get some roles. If you really want to, like I said, if you've made an impact already and you're ready to take a higher step, maybe go after a complete agent. But gone are the days where agents are out there looking for people to represent. More often than not, you have to sell yourself to an agent and convince him that you're the guy he wants to represent. Far easier to go onto a roster as a talent manager, so that they can, because they manage a group of people, a roster of people, different talents, different skills. They know what kind of areas that they're good at matching talent to, and if they feel that you can fit into that, they'll help you find roles. But of course, like I said, you can't totally rely on them. You still have to be doing your own work. But when you're going to want to research, there's casting directors actually in that area that do things that you want to be part of, TV shows, movies, whatever you want to be part of. You got to find out what casting directors are working on those projects, and you got to connect with them. And I'm not saying spam them or approach them out of the blue. You got to find ways to do it strategically and professionally. So see what kind of workshops they're offering. Maybe they're offering a workshop or a class, or find it, sign up, go out there and give your all, catch their eye, catch their attention, hopefully get a chance to meet them and have them know at least who you are. If they're having an audition for anything, throw your name out there, audition, try to get into an audition for one of the things they're casting for. Anything you can do to get them to know your name early on is critical. Once they know who you are, then you got to smooth a little bit. You have to develop postcards and business cards and things like that you're going to drop them a line every now and again, see how they're doing, what's going on, what kind of projects you're working on. I'd love to work with you at some point. You may want to invite them to some things you're doing. If you have a performance to put on, or you're going to be part of something, invite them to watch or check it out. Anything you can do to make the casting directors that you want to work with fans of yours, that's what you want to do. You got to connect with them, network, build those connections in the acting business, because it is a business. You are selling yourself, and you're not going to sell yourself if you don't have the sales tools, build the sales stuff around you, and at the same time have a way to present them to the right people. Trying to make talent managers your fans, or casting directors, I should say, your fans. You want to still make sure that they love your work, babe, and that you're out there and connecting with them, networking. Huge part of the business. And there's really no shortcuts to these things. You got to get out there and do it. You want to be an actor, you got to start acting like one. So anyways, that's how you become an actor. It's not as complex as it seems, but there's a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of effort to put into that. Wanna be, 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 I wanna be, wanna be, wanna be, actor. Wanna be, wanna be, wanna be, wanna be, wanna be, wanna be. So, why am I not doing that as we speak? Well, I have the challenges I face. First and foremost, my priority is my wife and family. I have to raise my family. I got to make sure they're fed and everything. Also, I live hours from a place where I could actually do a lot of the things that I'd like to be able to do in terms of acting. So I gotta dig deep and find the resources that are right here in my own backyard. So I'm gonna start out with things like community theater and of course this YouTube channel. There's a lot of things you can do with social media like YouTube to really bring acting to you, as I said in my trailer, and that's what I'm attempting to do with this series, Acting Out. Attempting to do with this channel in general, and I hope you'll join me on this journey because I'm looking forward to it, and I want to invite you along, and that's why I created the Wannabe Actor channel, because really for me it is the impossible dream, and maybe it's the impossible dream for you too, or for many people it's the impossible dream, but just because it's the impossible dream doesn't mean you have to sit there and give up or mope. You go out there and do what you can with what you have. If you want to be an actor, it's time you start acting like one. So anyways, that's my first episode of Acting Out with the Wannabe Actor. I'm Daniel Jobber Gagne, aka the Wannabe Actor, and I thank you for joining me. You can follow me on Twitter at Wannabe Actor, and of course I'm on Instagram as the Wannabe Actor. And you can even email me at thewannabeactor@gmail.com. So I hope you'll let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see. And join me next week on Acting Out with the Wannabe Actor. See you next week, if not sooner. Wannabe actor.